Hey guys, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a pro digital commentary. This commentary is affiliate DC. More commentary content. Check us out on digitalcommentaries.com. Today I'm bringing you EHome versus CCM. This is game 2 of the series. Game 1 was not uploaded. I do know the result, but because I don't want to spoil and everything, I will give you the result of game 1 at the very end of this commentary. And, pending the result of this game, there may be a game 3, there may be not. Alright, so we have EHome on Sentinel, CCM Zoe on Scourge. CCM in general on Scourge. We have Invoker being banned, AA being banned, meanwhile Bat Rider and Lich being banned for CCM. CCM is, I think, manually selected to draft first. These tournament likes to swap sides. Hey, you draft first last game, I draft first this game, and clock gets rid of immediately as well. This is 6.71C, the stable map for now, although a lot more European / Chinese matches have also used 6.72. We'll see whether 7.2 is going to be the official map for ESWC and big tournaments like that. It's most likely is going to be, but we'll see. Now in 6.71C, you don't have to worry about things such as Shadow Demon and Pit Lord. Those are kind of the two big heroes that were really moved into the CM pool. I think there's a couple others in the pool as well. Maybe Spirit Breaker is on the redeem pool. I'm already getting a little bit mixed up. I don't think Spirit Breaker. No, Spirit Breaker hasn't got to change it. But never mind that, right? This is 7.1, so we're not gonna see a Spirit Breaker. Yeah, so I did say I was gonna cast the Nevo versus M5 series, and I will be casting those. I just saw the Chinese replay come up. I was like, you know what, I want to cast these first, but I will go back to the Nevo and M5 series. That is a good series as well, so do look out for that in my channel in the coming days or on DC. CCM Zoe just got picked up the Windrunner first, which, if you follow my commentaries in the past, I think that Windrunner, although a very good hero, is a little bit overrated, especially if you're going to pick her up first. Windrunner, though, on the other hand, is a very versatile hero. You can put her in every single lane possible. So that is the versatility of the Windrunner. It's just, I feel her item choices is somewhat static. There's not much you could do. Either you go Mecha, and then you go to Hex, or you go Force Staff and do Pipe, Hex. It's just like the same 3 or 4 items. Her playstyle is somewhat, like she's just a utility hero, but I don't think you should pick utility first, in my opinion, because there's some very, very good hero in the pool, by the way. 820, the captain of EHome, been captain for like years. I'm not sure lately if you have been visiting Ghost Gamer, but he has a really long interview there that you might want to check out. And we're going to see some old school picks, Venomancer and Visage. And I say these are old school picks, but they would fit really, really well in the current lineup. But these picks are old school in the sense that this is the picks that EHome used in their domination streak in 2010. And bring some of the old school back, which, by the way, EHome's support player in 2010 was 820, and now, if you haven't been following EHome, he is playing the hardcore carry. And if you look at Lone DD over here on the yellow, he used to be the hardcore carry player before he joined EHome, and now he's playing support. So this shows a couple of things. First, it shows that these Chinese players are very versatile in terms of the role. They could play whatever role they want to play or need to play. And the second thing is, in that 820 interview, he said that the reason I switch over to carry is that he personally believes that one player should not stick to a role for more than a year, because it will just make the game too dry, it will make it too boring, and that's why he kind of swapped the roles around a little bit. And now he's on the carry, and Lone DD's on the support, which makes me think, right? I feel bad for like X, because he's been playing for the role forever, right? 357 and PLT, which is Lamb, by the way. How come they don't get a role change? Just saying, right? CCM Zoe picks up Venge and Storm, which, I mean, it's really hard to draw a correlation / strategy around these picks. They seem very generic. I don't exactly see a hard kind of they don't have too much synergy going on right now. Although the Storm is going to be somewhat of in the European scene, the Storm is not as popular, but in Chinese scene, Storm is maybe even auto ban. I'm very surprised actually Zoe did not ban the Storm against EHome, because EHome X has one of the best Storm in the country. So Syllabear being picked up for Sentinel, so it looks like they are going to do a little bit of a push strat. Although nowadays every hero almost is capable of pulling off a push, but Syllabear and the Venomancer wards can be somewhat good of a pusher. Don't don't forget that they are pretty good defensive as well. Venomancer wards cannot be underestimated as a defensive capability, because if you go to the tower, maybe 30 seconds before, you just plop down maybe 5 or 6 wards, and that is going to delay a push for quite a bit. What CCM got going for them right now, they are extremely mobile between the wind run, between the raffle, and of course avenge swap. They can just get up in the face of these guys, and they could kill the Sentinel heroes fairly quickly. Although for the Sentinel lineup, they're pretty squishy. I mean, it's pretty tanky, excuse me. Visage tend to get pretty tank. Syllabear gets extremely tank. Although Venomancer's stat does not give him a lot of tanking power, his item choice will. So I feel good for EHome right now in terms of pick. CCM a lot more offensive, EHome a little bit more defensive, which is what EHome is good at. So defensive. CCM, by the way, is a very, very strong team right now, led by Zoe, which used to be in EHome. 430 Sansheng, which by the way had a great interview about him on Ghost Gamer that you might want to check out. DDC and Xiao 8, very stable players on the CCM lineup. They don't have some of the biggest name stars. Only Zoe is the I guess the biggest name, but for the past 5 or 6 months or so, CCM has been the team to beat, at least in the Chinese scene. They're very, very strong. Some of these bans are the Brewmother, the Morphling, Pugna, Enchantress. Very, very standard bans. I still have not seen these picks kind of making a clear-cut strategy of what each team is trying to do. Hopefully this next pick will let us know, if they pick into a Spectre right now, then we will kind of get a better idea of what they want to do. I'll just have to wait and see. In terms of laning, we are most likely going to see a Storm mid. Again, this Windrunner is going to be very hard to say. She can do the long lane. We have seen tri-lane Windrunners, especially in the support role. We have seen the Chinese kind of loving that lately. For the Scourge, for the Sentinel team, we can see the Syllabear in a long lane solo, no, in the defensive lane solo, or we could see him in a tri-lane. I don't really like the tri-lane Syllabear because I feel like he needs his EXP, although the Chinese team feel that you need to protect the Syllabear just a little bit as well. These players are taking their time. For everyone that's watching live, I am at 7:10, 7:11, 7:12, 7:13. Make sure you're synced up with me. Now, of course, we are going to see a Venomancer Visage lane. Although Venomancer can do a solo mid or long lane solo as well. Venomancer, again, very versatile hero in terms of laning. We don't see enough Venomancer solos. I honestly think that he doesn't deserve a solo lane, but we have seen teams doing that. We are going to see a Shaker, which means Venge and Shaker is going to be the support. Windrunner is going to get the solo EXP. We see a very swift answer of the Lina. EHome really likes Lina, so does LGD. I'm just wondering how Lina fits into the strategy. It is going to work really well with a Grave Show. But that means if you look at the lineup so far, right, we're going to most likely see a Lina and Visage on the support. The two reasons I don't really like these two as a combination of support is that you can't really depend on each other's stun, and we're going to see a Dusa last pick. Of course, Lina needs some kind of setup, but you're not going to get Grave Show at level 1. So either Lina have to hit her stun right in the beginning, or this last pick has to have a lead-in stunner. So I'm not really too sure, but you guys get what I mean, right? In terms of you're going to see Ogre. So wow, we're going to see a Venom solo, and then a tri-lane of the Ogre, Lina, and Visage. This is going to be very interesting, very aggressive tri-lane suddenly. When I said EHome's going to be playing a little bit more defensive, yes, we're going to see Venomancer solo mid most likely. He's got for the Magic Wand, so that is indicative of his solo mid, and we're going to see the Lone Druid at the bot lane, very standard lineup. And he is going to face a Windrunner. In my opinion, this lane is pretty much a wash. Windrunner can dominate the lane with the power shot, although the Syllabear has a little bit more passive harass with that bear. And now on the top lane, we're going to see a Dusa, Shaker, and Venge. This lane is going to be a tough one to crack, because Dusa already very annoying with that Mystic Snake. Fisher is just going to be stunning everyone. And we haven't seen Dusa for a long time, right? This is stock 6.69C hero, and finally we're going to see Dusa coming back. Dusa never got really nerfed. I mean, her stats got changed a little bit, but I think she's still a very strong hero. The reason we don't see Dusa nowadays anymore because the game is decided so much earlier, and Dusa is one of those heroes that require a little bit more farm to be effective, and that's the reason we haven't seen Dusa enough. So I think CCM is very confident in terms of they're saying, well, we could defend our way to defend defend our way to a very farm Dusa, which can be difficult against this very pushing oriented lineup. We do have the Ogre Magi Bloodlust on the Syllabary. I think that's kind of the idea why they picked it. And I think also another idea why they picked the Dusa against the Syllabary is that Dusa can be somewhat of a counter against the Syllabary. As we see the Syllabary jacking a double damage rune away from the Windrunner, that actually is a pretty big move, because if that double damage was picked up by the Windrunner would have got a significant advantage in terms of early level. It looks like they're going to do a trialing bot. This is extremely wow. I cannot picture this. I was thinking, well, you want to support your Deuce a little bit, but no, they're going to do a trialing bot. Meanwhile, we have two Sentinel heroes kind of stalking around behind the Sentinel Tower, behind the Scourge Tower. They want to get a kill on Storm, and Storm is going to be in trouble because Storm has no escape mechanism. I think Storm senses something because he sees two support missing. They don't see anyone on the map. He's being very, very careful. Here we go. Ogre Magi is going to get a stun off. There's a Venomous Gale, and it's going to be LSA to follow, and Venomous... that Storm is going to go down. Are they going to... Lina is going to get the first blood. Really well done by X. Animation canceling all the way through. And I think they bought 2 smoke. I want to say they bought 2 smoke. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, they're trying to gank the very low HP on the Loon Druid. Loon Druid is going to be fine. Meanwhile, Venge takes a significant amount of damage. So, very lucky ganks and lucky survivals for EHome right there. I want to say luck because it might have just been some min-max damage. You know, if your hero hit the max damage versus their hero hitting minimum damage, then that's where luck is involved. Meanwhile, we see the smoke ganking party of the Scourge team going to the mid lane. There is no wards absolutely down for the Scourge, and Venomancer playing a little bit bold. Meanwhile, the support for the Sentinel going on the top lane. We're seeing a very aggressive play from these two Chinese teams, which again, not accustomed to, I guess, a lot of Westerners, I suppose. Again, going to Venomancer. Venomancer is going to go down for sure. Let's see who's going to pick up the kill. 430 does, and that is going to help out his goal just a little bit. He needs to get his quick bottle to be effective. Meanwhile, dive going on the top lane here, and now Zoe in trouble. We're going to see some nukes going on him, and he is going to go down. Who is going to pick up the kill? Ogre Magic picks up the kill, and I really love this strategic choice. And we're seeing a kind of a solo Necrotic getting the farm. And I have been somewhat of a big proponent of a solo Necrotic. And you might be thinking, right, that's total BS. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because Necrotic is probably the best trialing hero ever. Because in level 1, he could just kill like crazy. It looks like there's another gank attempt on Syllabary. Syllabary is going to be able to survive this. I think so. No, he doesn't. Great Fisher Trap. Still somewhat trapping him. I think Syllabary ran the wrong way. Should have juked into the trees. So well done by the Scourge ganking party. But let's go back to that Visage thing I was talking about. I was a big proponent of a solo Visage, simply because if he gets to level 6 quickly, you get another hero. Like, if you have good enough micro on those birds, you get simply another hero to gank with you. It's like 6v5. And if you think about it like that, that is somewhat of a crazy thing. Yes, Visage is a strong trialing hero, and they are running this kind of a trialing-ish. They're having a 2 roamer and a Visage solo, but the 2 roamer will come into lane and kind of give the Visage a trialing. So in that essence, it's still a trialing, but Visage is getting solo EXP. And in that, I really, really enjoy that. Meanwhile, Syllabary has gone to the jungle, sensing that these guys are just a little bit too much hating on him. They're like, you know what, F that, I'm going to just jungle. And that is, I believe, the smart choice here. Because Syllabary in the early stages of the game is not a good survivor, has no escape mechanism, not very high HP. As they do another dive on the Juice on the top lane, is going to get the kill on him, and that is 3 kills so far for CCM, for EHome. Meanwhile, 2 kills for CCM. Very, very aggressive game, especially compared to that Nevo M5 game I casted a while back. Man, that game had no kills for like forever. Syllabary doing a good job using the bear to go in first, is going to scout out the Venge, and there's a lot of Serpents War being put down. Plague War, excuse me, being put down by the Venomancer. Venomancer senses it as well, so good map awareness by these Chinese players. Meanwhile, on top lane here, Zoe is just not having a good time. I believe he has skill for, what you can call it, Mana Shield, which it's a good survival spell. But I think it's better to pick up stats in this case, or at least that's the standard build to pick up stats. Meanwhile, the Syllabary is doing a little bit of blocking. Here we go, ganking party of the Sentinel coming to the mid lane. Ogre Magi has picked up boots, and so has Lina, because of the successful gank. And these boots is gonna make their ganking endeavor so much more effective. And Storm Spirit just healing back in now. Storm Spirit senses it, and he's gonna turn back. By the way, Storm Spirit also have boots of speed, and that is also crucial in terms of his surviving. If the Storm Spirit was a little bit greedy and gone for bottle first, which I'm sure a lot of player has, say, hey, bottle first kind of, or bottle as my first core item is pretty good. If he has gone for bottle first in that case, he's just been dead.